I have officially stopped performing. And ever since I stopped living that way, everything has changed. My signal changed. My content has changed. My relationships have changed. People have gone, and people who feel uncannily familiar have arrived. So today, I want to talk about what happens when you stop performing your old identity and you finally move into authentic transmission, what we're really all here to do. More specifically, we'll talk about what kind of shifts have to happen on the inside in order to get to this place, as well as why the outer world automatically rearranges as soon as you do. The moment that performance dies is the moment that you let go of the identity that relied on something external to exist. And not only did that part of you rely on something external, but it relied on managing external perception. It relied on being seen a certain way. So what starts to happen is that part of you starts to go offline, and you stop speaking from a place of wanting to be understood or validated, and you start speaking to simply transmit. That changes the tone, it changes the pace, often it changes even the language we use. And the foundation of all of your expression and communication is what's shifted. Before, there was this essence of proving. I have to perform, I have to act, I have to play the role like it's a movie or a play, and other people need to believe it. Whereas you move into this new paradigm of simply just being or embodied transmission, and you release the need for anyone else to understand you. We've talked a lot on this channel about how we lose people, we destabilize stagnant environments, how we expose people who are not doing the work. But what else starts to happen? New people do start to show up. And not just people, the people. So we have this authentic core vibration within us from the moment that we are born. And it is always there and it is always on. But what happens is we, through conditioning, through trauma, through survival adaptation, we take on other identities, roles, and so on. And we perform those roles because often we believe that's who we are because that's who we had to be. That is performance in a nutshell. So what does that do to that frequency underneath? It fragments it. It makes it much, much, much less clear and much more difficult for the right people, the people who are operating at a similar frequency, to hear you and find you. So who do you end up attracting instead? You attract people who are operating in a similar domain of performance. People who are denying or suppressing, rather, their truth. But when the filter dissolves, when the performance dies down, your coherence rises. That inner signal starts to get louder again. And every single time you feed it, every single time you show up embracing that, showing up as the vehicle for that frequency, that energy to move through you, your field becomes legible. You become kind of like a lighthouse. And it happens very quickly that the right people start to find you. And not only the right people, but the right opportunities, the right places, the right signs, the right everything lines up. It feels like destiny, it feels like miracles, it feels like magic, but really it's just clarity. It's just authenticity. It's just you being you and letting the world rearrange around that. Nothing woo-woo about it. I opened a video, one of the first videos I posted recently. The second I started talking, my voice is higher pitched. The things that I'm talking about, the way that I'm talking, that version of me had not fully given herself permission to go all in, to fully show up. She was still performing in some way. Recently, I've had an identity shift. Around the exact same time I've mastered my lighting setup. We're still working on the shadow here, if you haven't noticed that already, and now you have. So if you know anything about lighting, drop a tip below for that. So that was the lock-in of the filming setup. Guess what else happened? I finally had an aligned audience lock-in. So resonant and so aligned and so my people. And I literally have cried reading some of your comments and feeling the resonance with you. And I know it's just the beginning as well, and that's like, I'm gonna start crying. There is something very just soul family-like about the energy and the coherence in this field on this channel. And I have never felt that way with people in my life before. So all this to say, when you put yourself out there, over time your body becomes safe enough to fully transmit the signal, your authentic signal, your people show up. And then momentum accelerates. Everything starts to flow. Things really do start to pretty quickly match your frequency. So just to sum it all up real quick for you to take away from this. Performance is identity management. Transmission is identity dissolved. Performance will always protect your image and attempt to control or manipulate others' perception. Transmission expresses your essence, your true essence, freely. Performance asks, how am I being perceived? Transmission asks, nothing. It just moves through you how it wants to. When the performance dies, transmission comes online. And when your real signal finally comes through, your entire life rearranges itself around who you actually are. What part of you is still performing, and what might happen if that part dissolved? Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any more content like this. Thank you for watching. Bye.